All right, thank you, Brandon. Time now is 7:13 on this Halloween. Joining me now is Greg Flynn of the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency. He's here to talk about emergency weather, severe weather.
I like that. Where'd the hat go?
This is actually, this is
put that back
is
on?
my Halloween.
It's still hurricane season, so it makes it more tropical.
It does. It does.
It makes me feel more tropical. We still have a month left in hurricane season, so if you put that on.
Feel free to, if you want to.
No, the Lord took mine a long time ago.
Well, Greg, we thank you so much for coming out this early in the morning. This is the last day for severe weather preparedness.
It is fall severe weather preparedness week, proclaimed by the governor. You may not know this, but November is the second highest month of tornadoes in Mississippi all year long.
November.
Yes, April is number 1, November is number 2. Mm-hmm. Usually that's because, and Brandon could probably explain this to you better, but it's because of the cold weather.
He did yesterday. He kind of saved the day.
But you know, when we have these the season shift, when we go in from hot weather in the summer and into this cold weather in the fall, as we'll see this weekend, those two air masses don't like each other very much over Mississippi, and we get a lot of tornadoes. So This whole week, we've, in conjunction with the National Weather Service in Jackson, have worked very hard to get out different messaging every day about the risks of severe weather, because the bottom line is, if you don't have a plan, it will hurt you not only during the event, but after it's over and you try to recover, you know, mentally. So having a plan, knowing what you're going to do in any kind of circumstance, will certainly help save you.
What do people need to do to get prepared for this? I mean, go get a lot of bottled water. That's the first thing they start thinking about.
Well, you know, actually, that is very good. It's part of your emergency supply kit. You should always have a stock of water on hand, 1 gallon per person per day for up to 3 days. So for however many people are in your house, have that. Some non-perishable food. Make sure that you have your medications. That if you don't have access to get out to a pharmacy, make sure that you have enough medication to get you by for at least 3 days. Make sure that prescription is up to date as much as possible so that you always have a little bit on hand. But the number one thing is that communication plan, okay? How am I gonna contact my family and friends and know what we're gonna do? Do they know the plan? You know, it's amazing to me that, you know, kids and their parents, you know, we don't sit down and have dinner at the dinner table anymore.
Especially Mel, he really does. He didn't invite me over. Mel hadn't invited me over. Spencer, Keith, Jermichael, and Cara Thomas, and Greg, they have not invited me to eat dinner.
And you all need to sit down and have a dinner.
That's right, we all need to sit down and eat.
You need to talk about what would be the emergency plan. You all should get together and say, okay, if we have a tornado come through here, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, and then when it's over, who are we going to call? How are we going to let our family and friends know that we're okay?
Is there a lot of panic when you with people? What's it like? I guess when the severe weather hits, how do you prevent them from panicking?
Well, it is. That's the big thing about why we try and get people to think about it on the front end, because people hear those tornado sirens go off and all of a sudden they freeze. You know, especially if you're in an area that's already been hit and you've already been traumatized, like the folks up in Louisville recently and in Tupelo. It's really just, okay, we heard the siren, we know there's an alert, we watched the weather, okay, now let's execute our plan. What are we going to do? And by practicing that throughout the year, when it's good weather, we hopefully won't have people freak out when they do hear those sirens go off. So it's all about preparation, because the more prepared you are, as you certainly know about preparation, the more prepared you are, then you know that you're not going to freak out.
But I guess, like you said, when it's beautiful, it's a beautiful day. People really don't think about tornadoes, especially in November.
Right.
You know, but because in March and April, like you said, that's the time we really think about it.
The high time,
but you know, and
remember the Thanksgiving tornado though?
That's right. Yeah.
About 15 years ago.
Yeah.
They came right through Madison.
I was a little bitty baby then. Where you stop, man?
All I see is you got enough gray hair up there that you weren't a little baby 10 years ago. But remember when it went through Barbie Bassett's neighborhood in Madison?
Who was that?
We had that Thanksgiving tornado.
Yes.
She's a famous weathercaster here in the Jackson metro area.
That's right.
At a TV station unnamed.
Yeah, but and then it you know, it skipped over. It hit some of the golf courses in Madison.
Well, it came very close to Madison Central High School.
It sure did, yeah.
And you know, Mississippi, we think of Tornado Alley typically as Oklahoma, Kansas. That's not true, the case anymore. I mean, there's the Dixie Alley down here in Mississippi and Alabama.
You frightening me.
Well, I'm just educating you.
Is that right?
Yes.
Mississippi is the
We have
haven
had,
for tornadoes?
I don't, little known fact perhaps, that Mississippi since 2005 has had more tornado warnings than any other state.
Why are we still here?
Grace of God.
I mean, living here. Wow, that is amazing.
Because it's the hospitality state, but unfortunately, we have a lot of disasters in this state. You know, we're very good at the response because we've had so many disasters. But it's really the resilience of the people, because as government, we're as prepared as we can be. The great thing about Mississippi is we recover so much faster because of our neighbors and because of the faith-based organizations and the nonprofit agencies. We have the strongest in the nation. So Mississippi may rank last in a lot of lists, but when it comes to recovery and people helping people and hospitality, we're certainly number one.
So do you guys, foresee this I know you're getting ready for the month of November. It's just November, not December?
Well, we have the chance to get tornadoes any time of year. Now, our weather gets a little bit colder where we have to worry about it doesn't get usually 85 degrees in December, although we have had a couple of Christmases like that. That's why we have the threat of having the severe weather any time of year. But it is highest when you're coming right to those real season changes. Like, what was a couple of days ago, we were still in the 80s.
Right.
Tomorrow morning when we wake up, it's going to be 32.
Wow.
So you get these wide gaps, and all of a sudden you get the turbulent weather. So while it is every month out of the year you have to be prepared, it's really here in the fall and then in the early spring.
So do people need to go and stock up now just in case, or?
Well, it's just a good time to make sure you go over your plan. What am I going to do when I hear those sirens? Do I have a way to get the alerts? There's mobile phone apps. Are you going to turn on the television? Do you have a NOAA weather radio, which should be standard? You have a NOAA weather radio in your house?
No, I do not. I don't have a radio in the house.
Perfect stocking stuffer if you were going to go out and give out NOAA weather radios, because they operate on battery. You can set it to your area, and if a weather warning occurs, it'll wake you up in the middle of the night. Because there's nothing worse. Our tornadoes seem to always want to hit after the sun's gone down and everybody's gone to bed.
Yeah.
So you need a way to get warned when you're not listening to the regular radio, when you're not watching the television stations. This will wake you up. It's almost like an alarm clock.
Is there concerns about the towers, the sirens not working?
Well, here's what we say about that. Sirens there should never be just one thing. That's just one tool in the toolbox. Sirens are very reliable in the city, but in rural areas especially, you can't get that coverage out there. So we tell people you need to have multiple ways to be able to get alerts, whether it's to the phone, television. Again, never mind the phone app. If you know that your aunt lives someplace and there's a tornado warning, pick up the phone and say, hey, do you know that there's a tornado warning for your area? That's one of the simplest things we can do, and it gets us back to socializing and away from the texting. Just pick up the phone and make a call.
You do a good job with this. How long have you been doing this?
Since 2008.
When you left sports?
Yes, I've spent 15 glorious years in television and enjoyed my time doing sports, working alongside you as my main competition.
Do you miss it? You miss sports?
No.
You don't miss it at all?
Well, no, I don't. I enjoy it more now because I get to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, covering it, you don't miss going out, high school games and all of that?
No, when you see those surly coaches that give you the interviews, the Belichicks of the world.
Because I almost decked Richard Williams once.
Did you? I could see that.
Yeah, I almost decked him once.
I could see that.
And James Bell. And you're right, you just get tired of that.
But some of that is, you rub the people
I rub them the
way.
wrong way.
Yeah.
I do. Really.
You rub them to that level.
I kind of try to stir it up a little bit. You're right about that.
But I had a wonderful time. I mean,
But now with Mississippi State being number 1 and Ole Miss number 4, whatever, 3 or 4, you missed that though.
No.
You know you missed it.
No.
You missed covering the Rebels.
No, not that foolishness. Would you want to be back down on there when they run the field and the goalpost came down?
No, actually, I was at, I think, a Mississippi State game, and they beat some, I forgot who it was, and they tore the goalpost down, and the guy running around with it, and the guy hit me in the head with it, man. I had never experienced anything like that, because I was always at Jackson State game. They ain't tearing no goalpost down at a Jackson State game.
They did. Didn't they tear them down after Valley? Mm-mm. They didn't. They just tore the stadium apart.
Yeah. But so Greg, we appreciate it, man. Anything else we do about being safe?
Well, honestly, it is really, it sounds like you said it's going to be beautiful weather today. It's going to be cool. But really, please think about what you're going to do. Have that plan so that you don't freak out when the sirens go off, or you know where your family and friends are. Because peace of mind after it's over, like if you knew where your kids were going to be, you knew where your wife was going to be, you'll feel a lot better instead of then scrambling to try and find out with cell phone towers being down where everybody is. So if you have that plan ahead of time, that you'll automatically know where they're going to be or where they should be, so you'll know where to go find them. It really will not only save you physically, but mentally as well.
And you're out and about once the storms hit. I mean, you're up no matter what time of day or night it is.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for. 24/7.
24/7. Greg, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Anybody you want to say hello to? Because we have millions of viewers.
Viewers?
Yes. We'll be back in a moment.